Another stimulus from China? That's not strength. That's a sign that their economy is in a lot deeper trouble than they care to admit. Now let's talk about that stimulus, why they're doing it, some of the things that are in it so that you can understand the impacts it's going to have now and down the road for China. And there's two things they put in this stimulus package that we're going to talk about and the impacts they're going to have using real life examples. Now, first, the reason why they're doing it. You can see that the Chinese economy is feeling the pain from the triple-digit levies, with data last week showing that factory activity has been contracting in April at the fastest pace it has in 16 months. China's fighting the tariffs like the Rocky in the 12th round, beaten up, barely hanging on, and hoping this stimulus is their comeback. But what exactly is in this stimulus package? What's the point of it, and what impacts is it going to have? So we can see that Beijing's central bank governor and other top finance officials outlined plans Wednesday to cut interest rates and reduce bank reserve requirements to help free up more funding for lending. The first thing to note is that the required reserve ratio, or portion of funds bank must hold in their reserves, was cut by 0.5%, and this will free up 1 trillion yuan in extra cash. So put simply, what that means is that banks don't have to have as much cash on hand as they did before. They can lend that out in order to keep the economy moving forward. Well, what's the potential impacts of that? Well, I don't know if you remember, but over the past couple of years, we had 5 banks in the United States completely go bankrupt. And what was the reason? People started to panic, and they wanted to take their money out of the bank. But the problem was, the banks didn't have enough money in reserves to pay their customers, so they had to close the doors and the banks went bankrupt. So China is playing a very dangerous game by lowering that reserve ratio. Now, the second thing that they did is they also reduced interest rates on 5-year housing loans. Now, that actually is a pretty good idea, but what impacts could that potentially have? This one's going to hit home for a lot of you. Why is there a housing crisis in the United States right now? 2 reasons. Number 1, we don't have enough supply, which China already is facing that same problem. And number 2, during the pandemic, we lowered the interest rates. That way, people would start borrowing more money to buy more houses that didn't exist. It's as if China is not learning from the same mistakes that the United States just went through. But I can't end it on a completely negative note for China, because after they announced the stimulus package, their composite index did go up in price. So their stock prices did go up in the short term, but it really didn't have much to do with the stimulus. It had more to do with the fact that they said, we're going to start talking with the United States.